TV. Quick preview to go up. I'm going to talk for about 10 minutes ahead of tomorrow night's clash with CSKA Moscow at Old Trafford. It was very foggy Old Trafford it was tonight as I came home from work. But firstly, I wanted to nail on what seems to have come out today and a lot of sort of increasing sort of things that I'm hearing across social network. Now, the MEN put out an article today saying that United fans wanting Louis van Gaal out at the end of this season. It's all sorts of nonsense, absolute utter nonsense. They've read a couple of probably posts on two forums, both forums that I go on, where I think the majority and the manner of that is actually showing something completely different. So I don't know where they're getting that from, but it's poor from the MEN as per usual. Really does grind my gears when there's such a local paper takes the most minute of opinions from people and not from a majority to try and advocate that United fans want Louis van Gaal out at this stage. Yes, we're not playing the most attractive football. This is the underlying frustration of United. Forget the results, forget the players that people are putting pressure on and calling to be dropped or for instance like that. This is Louis van Gaal playing his middle ground, as I'm calling it. He's got three seasons of a contract under his name. He'll see those out. Forget what United fans think. He will see those out. Last year, it was a rebuilding. He got rid of a lot of dead wood. Remember last season when we were playing along with Tom Cleverley and Anderson still in the squad? We're not. We've got Schweinsteiger. We've got Styling. We've got better players now. Yes, this is not how we want to be watching. But it's frustrating. It's an underlying frustration about how United play football. And I watched Terry from the Devil's Terrace video this evening. He called it a crisis. This is not a crisis. That's the only part that I disagree with him on. Superb video. Go and check it out. He makes some very good points and backs them up with a lot of good video usage and stuff. In fact, I would love to be able to do that over on here, but I'm not entirely sure how we'd be getting across in the same manner. Maybe I'll talk to Terry about that at one point. But his point was that he named the video Crisis. United are not in crisis. Chelsea are in crisis. They've just been beaten by the Scousers 3-1 in their own backyard, and Jose Mourinho looks like he's off the chop after pretty much shooting himself in the foot by having a pretty much non-idea argument with a doctor right at the start of the season. It seems just spiraled out of control. That is a club in crisis. Manchester United's not a club crisis. We're fourth. We're 5 points off the top. And I've got a seriously good run of games to come up before now and Christmas. I think the next hardest sort of game that you think that we United have got is actually after Boxing Day, and that's Chelsea at home. We've got a really good foreseeable run of games coming up. United are not in crisis. We've got the game tomorrow. Get 3 points in the board, and you're pretty much nailing ourselves on to be in that knockout stage come January of the Champions League. Now, if we roll back the clocks 2 seasons to David Moyes' time, where United was slipping down the table, you were slipping out of Europe, and didn't even get into the Europa League. That was United in crisis. This is not a crisis by no means, not a long stretch. And I think that I've to call this where's our class, because United fans are just bickering and constantly coming out with stupid anomalies like they're spoiled brats. Now, yes, I'm as you can see of an age that never saw United under anybody else but Fergie, and there's a lot of United fan base that are still of that age, but there's a hell of a lot of United fans base that I've grown up with who've seen Fergie before Fergie, before Wolf McGuinness, even back to Matt Busby's time. I know a lot of people, and I read and I speak to them about that time because I find that fascinating era of United's thinking, especially those dark days of playing in Division 2, nearly getting into Division 3. That's a point where United actually showed its class. United fans supported whoever was in the hot seat. The manager wasn't, as it is a modern day manager now, who's constantly scrutinised from week to week to a point where he will get sacked. it's got, you know, the pressure becomes more because it comes from the media and not because it comes from anywhere else. So back in those days, that didn't happen. United had a class about them. United fans sung about things. Yes, we had our low points where United fans asked Pete Molyneux famously to our Fergie banner, Jesus Christ, how that came back to bite him in the bum. And he won't mind me saying that, because basically it was just before United kicked back into gear and Fergie got it right. So this is really sort of a frustrating point, is the fact that United fans have lost their class. We're all bickering about being fourth in the league in November. Yes, you come back in a month's time where we're still fourth, or we slip further back down, then we may have some sort of quarrels. But we shouldn't really be classing it as a crisis now. This is not even half a season old this season, and people are already trying to write United off. I've never been a fan of United being written off. Yes, I might criticise performances on the pitch. I might be upset with how the way that managers tactically put us. But it doesn't matter. When I walk through those turnstiles at Old Trafford, I will support those 11 men on that, and the club and the coach and everybody else in the stadium should support whoever's in charge and support the lads on the field. And that's where you get that famous Manchester United atmosphere that's disappeared. The Old Trafford atmosphere disappeared because people get delusional with the idea that you can't support a team because they've gone behind, because they don't think that United can get back from behind. That's what facts. I think statistically United have done better than that this season than any other. But yeah, the stats don't add up. The stats don't like thingy. I'll go back to Terry's video. He made some perfectly decent stats about United's possession, about the way that we only make 2 or 3 chances on goal per game. It's just not good enough. No, it's not. I could totally agree with that at that point about taking risks in games. I watched my under-13 lads play games. Now, they've been beaten all season because they've only just got together. At the start of the season, they played a hell of a load of games against some of the top teams that have been, teams that have been together for years and stuff. And they've had their batterings. They came up with a mid-table team, which they're below, on Saturday, and they showed more desire to make those threatening runs, despite being 2 goals behind than United have done for the past how many weeks. Yes, that's a criticism of our club, and that's a criticism of how the team's progressing at the moment. But would I really go to a point of saying that's crisis? No, it's just not, and it's just not classy of United fans to even start to think of these things at this stage. United fans used to back them to the hill. United fans, I can't remember who it was, we played the Emirates, Arsenal, absolutely wipes off the floor in 20 minutes, 3-0 down. Guess who was still singing on the 90th minute? The United fans. They're the type of class of United fans that I'd like, because they're United fans that know about those dark days when we didn't do so well. They know that we could go through stages of being relegated. Even to a point, I just think that people expect too much in modern day football, that they're supposed to be some sort of like, right, I've come and paid my money, now entertain me and score loads of goals and win trophies. No, this is football. It doesn't happen like that. Get real with it. So yeah, there's a little rant at the end, but I just feel that United have lost a bit of class about that. Let's pull back a bit and say, you know what? Let's have a look at the situation. Yes, we're 4th in the league. Yes, we went out the League Cup. We went out the League Cup and the FA Cup last season. Did it really affect us? Anybody actually mentioning these things really that badly now? No. I still think this is a real good progression of Louis van Gaal. Yes, he's made a more solid defensive base in United. And Chris Smalling, he's got one of the best centre backs in the Premier League currently, and that's going along the names of. You think about that Chelsea defeat to Liverpool the other day. They put on John Terry and Cahill, and they couldn't deal with what Liverpool threw at them. United did. United had the same problem 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Yes, we might concede a couple of goals, but at least we went up and scored. And I think that's the 2 actual facts. There it is. The 2 Scouse games that we played this season. Liverpool at home, Everton away. both miles better performances because we're taking risks, because we controlled and took risks. And yeah, Louis van Gaal's got to figure that out. And it sounds from his press conference today that he wants to do that, that he will take risks. He is now actually starting to use, for instance, Lingard, which I think Jesse Lingard seems brilliant. Fucking 2 opportunities in the 2 matches against City, and then Middlesbrough to score winners for United. That, you know, that's basically because he's a ballsy player. He wants to go out and score goals, and even if it means coming away from the manager's tactics a bit. Well, I think that's better than nothing. And I think there's more positives at the moment for United compared to where we were and where we're going. Because by the time that Louis van Gaal leaves, will he have won a trophy? It's a major question at the moment. I think he will have won a title next season. He's building a squad. That squad, I'm going to do a comparison on this at the end of Louis van Gaal's reign to the squad that he got under Moyes. Let's just see the type of squad that we've got, because it's not just this short-term stint that he's in charge of here. He's in charge of a longer-term thing, whoever comes into manage after him. So I think there's a lot of questions going about Louis van Gaal out. We had the whole debate about David Moyes 2 seasons ago. Was he the right manager? What was he thinking? Did Johnny sit on the fence too much? Yes, it was frustrating and it happened, but it didn't mean that I didn't back the manager right till the end of the time, because he was a United manager. And I think that's the same situation now. And I don't think Louis van Gaal's anywhere near the end. I think there's a lot of people coming to the end of their tethers for no apparent reason. It's just really frustrating. Anyways, I'm going to go off the rant on there because I think I've spent far too much time having to rant about that, which you don't normally get from me. It's normally a passion or a surge that goes rather than me. Anyways, we're going to look over to the CSKA Moscow game, who apparently bringing about 200 fans to Borough, which is quite poor considering the fact it's probably quite mild in Manchester compared to Russia at this time of the year. But the probable lineup that I'm going with, and I've not done the graphics like I did in the last one, it's just a bit far too late at night to be doing that at the moment. But my team would be De Gea in there, Young replacing Darmian. Now, I like Darmian. I think he's a really consistent, good player, but I think he needs to get some confidence back in his game. And I think playing up against Musa, who plays on the left wing for Moscow, he could get sorted out. And we did get sorted out by their pace in the first half a couple of weeks ago when we went to Moscow. So I think the Young in there gives him another exclusive event in his career to go, right, I need to dig a place back in here for me. Smalling, Blind and Rojo make up the back 4 for me. I just don't see why you're changing anybody apart from me bringing Jones back, but apparently he's not been in the training today. Jones, yeah, he missed fatigue. So I think that Jones could be a bit too soon to bring him back. My midfield 2 would be Herrera and Schweinsteiger. We've got to control and dictate pace from the off in this game. This has been a major thing about United, about not coming out of the blocks quickly enough, not being able to get on attack or make some threats, control the game at the right time, which is right from the first half. We did that game to Everton. Explicitly good. It was superb to see us come out of the blocks, and especially after that thingy, but it sort of didn't control on as I thought he would do when we filmed the away day vlog from Goodison Park. I thought that might have been a starting point for us to go on a good run. It didn't happen. I think we have to re-kick on again here. So yeah, Herrera with Schweinsteiger, lots of pace from Herrera, lots of making runs into channels, lots of direct passes from him, and then Schweinsteiger for just picking up ball and controlling the game nice and easily. I stick with Matter out on the right. I think he needs to come back in. There was a statistic, I think I've heard somewhere, about him being the most creative Manchester United players so far this season. So you've got to keep playing him. For me, a lot of people, big question. Where do you bring Memphis in on that side and play him? He apparently trained on his own, trained away from the main squad today with Wilson, Valencia, and Morgan Swadlin, who that was apparently for personal reasons, and also doubt. So I'm not entirely sure Memphis is the right player to play on that side at the moment, but I'm not putting Marshall in that position. Sorry, he's just not going in there. He has to go up top for me. He has to be able to get through the two centre backs. And CSKA Moscow, and I mentioned this in the last previous, they're Asian. Their average age of CSKA Moscow squad is currently around 28. United is younger than that. And that's because we bring in the likes of. I'm going to actually put on the left-hand side. I'm going to put Lingard in there. I think he do superbly to get in behind them, and he creates a lot of chances and a lot of situations. Can really benefit from him being on that side. For me, drop or no drop in Rooney situation. Drop or no drop in Rooney situation. It's just become another farce in this whole thing that United fans are going on about. He's got to be dropped. He's got to be dropped. And what happens if he drops and nobody else steps up to the mark? What do we do then? Who do we point the finger at then? Say, there's just no answer, is there? There's just no answer. So, and I don't think Louis van Gaal's going to drop him. He's made him captain for a purpose. It gives him security. He's obviously got the ability. I think the thing that's really is lacking him is confidence. And I think by dropping him, you just drop him back another year. He just wouldn't help him. You'd make him less of the player that he is. So I think Rooney will start tomorrow, but he's got to start behind Memphis, behind Marshall. Marshall's got to be that lone top man. And I don't really like this system because I've never really liked watching the United team with one striker. I don't watch him generally football with one striker. It's far too alienating. Chelsea got caught out trying to do that with bloody Diego Costa of all people. I fucking hate to start with. But there's far too many teams playing it because it plays with a balance that you can't actually bring in midfielders when you're on attack. You can get wide. It's a good formation, but I just don't like it. But I can't figure out who you can put up top at the moment when we've not got another striker to put up top with him. Rooney, for me, he just seems to dilly-dally at the wrong times. He disappears backwards too far down the pitch when he doesn't need to be, when he plays, when we sort of play a two-up-top system. And for whatever it means, I'd rather him stick in sort of position where he's going to try and stay in that number 10 role and be what's the number on his back, a number 10 who creates things, springs the ball out wide when he needs to, picks up the ball and passes it on. And for me, my major frustration with Wayne Rooney is that he picks the ball up, makes some space for himself to have a shot, then takes so long to take the shot that there's a defender in the way. What game was it last week? I was watching. I can't remember. Bloody home game last weekend at Middlesbrough. That was it. Middlesbrough. He had three shots that hit the back of the defender because he'd spent far too long trying to swing his foot at it. The defender could come across. He's trying to curl his way into every shot. Yeah, he used to do that before, but he needs to either add the skill or get the shot off away quicker. Yeah, I've got some frustration. Would I drop Rooney? Possible. If you could find a replacement for him that do a better job. A lot of people say put Herrera in there, put Mata in there. But can those put goals in that we need them to put in? And they boss and become a captain? No. Mata's a great, superb footballer in a very classy outfit when he's off and he's talking on his social media channels. He's a great guy. But would he be a leader in a changing room? Not for me. Herrera's far too young to be that player. And I think we do need someone right in the middle of the heart of the game, especially when we're lacking attackingly, to be able to take the balls by their own screw for their own hands or whatever you want to call it, and just try and take that game to another team. There will be changes. Louis van Gaal likes to tinker, which really frustrates me. Really does frustrate me. Why the fuck do you need to tinker at the wrong times? But I just really hope he goes with a sort of similar team, and we do see Marshall up top. I'm going back to Terry's video that Marshall did worst in his last couple of games. What was it? In the last game at Palace at Selhurst Park, he did the worst there in the last 20 minutes up top than he did better. Thingy, he was losing the ball possession. Well, he's going to lose the ball possession. He's up against two defenders, not one defender. So there's a problem with that one. But for me, he can be key. And he can be key because you don't know what he's going to do next. And I like that about United players. We used to have that about United players, about United attackers. You didn't know what you want to do next. Cantona. Even York was like that at times. You just didn't know what he was going to do next. Cantona was superb at it. Ronaldo, Jesus Christ. I know that we're looking back at old players and we want to see that type of players come again. And I do think that Manchester United have got that one in Andy Martial when he comes in a couple of years' time, and he's grown up through the Premier League and he's learned his trade and he's really honed his skills and stuff. I think he'll be absolutely explosive and creatively mental to watch us. But I'm going to round it off there, guys. I really think that the vital part of tomorrow night is getting the 3 points. This whole we've drawn against them away should be not a negative. It should be a case that we should have won that match. I do seriously think we should have won that match. We just didn't play the right balls at the right times. There was a bit strange in the tactics in that match. But it didn't mean that we didn't have enough opportunities or that we should create more opportunities. In fact, there's a whole lot more debate about that. So yeah, I think that'd be superb to get those 3 points and basically give ourselves a proper bedrock for this group stage situation, where we can go right. We know what we've got to do for the next couple of games, which is basically PSV at home, which is another game that we need to win, and then Wolfsburg away, which will be a very, very hard game. But if we win these two here, I think we're more than capable of topping this group. But yeah, get your comments in below, guys. I know I've chatted on a bit. I'd love to hear what everyone is thinking, especially on this whole, why are people so less classy about United nowadays? Why can't we just take a bit, cut back, support the lads, and really give it to to a stage of the season where we can actually judge it properly, rather than just starting in November. Everyone seems to be up in arms about things. So yeah, get your comments in below, guys. We will be back on Thursday, as usual. Thursday, and then on Sunday for Straight News. We will be looking ahead, obviously, against the West Brom game on Thursday, reviewing this game against CSKA tomorrow night. So yeah, get your thoughts and get your score predictions in. Let's hear what you think about what the score's going to be. Drop a like on the video if you liked what I've had to say. If you don't like what I've had to say, leave a comment in the below and we'll have a discussion about it. I'm getting sick of seeing dislikes on videos and YouTube videos because people don't agree with someone's opinion that said something on our show. It doesn't just happen to us, it happens to a lot of fan channels. I've noticed. Why dislike a video? No, you dislike someone's opinion, not the video. So yeah, I think that's quite a key one. But yeah, give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe, because there's plenty more content. Schlager's out again, popping up, so loads of different interviews to come up, so they're great. And yeah, we're getting the regular guys in on, and hopefully we won't have any more upsets or situations where we had last night, where the video seemed to be able to, you was able to watch it live with us, and then it didn't seem to appear on the channel. We're not entirely sure what happened there, but we'll make sure hopefully make sure that doesn't happen again in the future. So yeah, until the next video, guys, we'll see you again.